I'm not even gonna lie. I have to pee.
Again? Bro, no.
No, you don't.
No, that's medical.
But like this time I actually have to pee.
What do
though.
you mean this time you actually have to? I heard.
No, like before it was like I think I have to pee a little bit.
But
so let me just like do
pee.
Yeah, but like now I like, you know, when your bladder starts doing that
you need
thing
to start
when
practicing
you feel
holding
like
it.
Thank you. You know how many thank you. I've been saying
because,
it.
Priya, it's been like 20 minutes.
Before I came
maybe.
in here, I chugged the rest of that Starbucks.
Still,
So
it was a
like,
tall. She's acting like it was a venti.
You have conditioned yourself
to pee constantly.
To think that the littlest bit of feeling of holding it.
No, but this is like I actually have to pee though. Like if we were on a road trip right now, I'd be like, okay, where's the next like gas station because I gotta pee.
But you would have done that as well 20 minutes ago.
No, I wouldn't have.
See, this is what we're talking about with the lines.
Toxic. I'm leaving.
Direct parallel with what we were talking about. Weird, but still parallel. I mean, if you got to pee, do what you got to do.
No, like
I guess.
Like it's like, you know, like my bladder feels like, you know, when it's just like, hello, we gotta.
Your bladder always says hello.
I think
her bladder is the chattiest bladder that has ever lived.
I think over the years you've weakened your bladder muscles by peeing every second. You haven't taught your body how to hold it.
I am queen of the itty bitty bladder committee.
Should we do an exposure?
I'm just saying.
I was about to go into therapist mode.
Do it.
About what?
Because sometimes, we know OCD is something that I treat. And sometimes we do exposures, and that's a thing where people, they're like, I think I have to pee. And it becomes especially for like kids, it's like, no, like everything gets disrupted because I think I have to pee. And so we'll sit there and we'll be like, yeah, I might have to pee, but I could wait a few more minutes. And we do it until the urge to pee starts to decrease, because it does. Fascinating, right?
Get her, yeah.
And so what happens is when we have a trigger, like thought, idea, fear, whatever, our anxiety spikes, and the urge to do something to get rid of that anxiety, even though you're not reading it as anxiety, it is anxiety. We have the desire to do something to bring the anxiety back down. And we typically do something before our anxiety tapers off naturally on its own. So by acknowledging that this is how I feel, but I'm not doing anything about it, it gives the anxiety a chance to like chill out on its own. And then you can make your decision in your full control and not being driven by what you're worried about.
Do I have pee anxiety?
I low-key think you have a little bit of pee anxiety. I'm not diagnosing. I'm just saying, in our 20 however many years of friendship, you're always worried that you're going to have to pee, or you think you have to pee. Like, I think you spend a lot more time thinking about peeing than you realize. Genuinely.
This is a
because
big
like
moment
you're
for me
scanning
as
your
the husband.
body. You're like, wait, do I have to pee? I think I have to pee. I'm just saying.
You know, okay, I feel like because when I was growing up, you know, like your parents do that thing before you leave the house, like pee before you leave.
Yeah.
You know? And it was like, just try, because you might actually have to pee. And then when we leave, you don't want to have to go and like have to find a bathroom. So just try now before we go.
Yeah.
And I did.
Mm-hmm. But we're not leaving the house.
And you just peed 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, but you know when you drink a lot of stuff quickly?
No, 20 minutes, no.
I think genuinely,
Sorry.
Priya.
Let me not be aggressive.
Somebody in the comments back me up here, please.
Okay, I say this in love. I do think you need to work on holding it.
Oh my God. I feel so validated as a husband right now.
I feel so called out right now.
I've been calling
Again,
you out
in
for
love,
years.
because like, let's say, you know what? I would have been like, yeah, go pee. If 20 minutes ago you had been like, I feel like I need to pee. And then you're like, I'm going to wait a minute. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go pee now and you're going to keep thinking about it. And at some point in the episode, you're going to be like, I think I have to pee again. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And like pee is coming out, but it doesn't need to. Like,
what do you mean?
What's the thing I explained to you earlier?
If you have to pee and you hold it for forever, that's how you get UTIs.
Yeah, but I'm not
20
asking you to
minutes
hold
is
it for
not
forever. I'm sorry, we're so aligned right now.
Somebody come save me.
Listen, I'm triggered because as the husband, I've been saying this to you from time, fam.
I'm so with
I
you,
have
Jay,
pee
on this.
anxiety?
If that's a thing, okay, because again, I'm talking about it in the context of OCD, right? And I don't think you have OCD pee anxiety by any means, but I'm saying that anxiety always functions the same.
I think I have a lot of other things.
You have plenty of other things, don't we all?
I'm unwell.
I think you've just conditioned
Generally
yourself.
unwell. But that's what I'm saying is that in general, the rule of anxiety, or if I could call it a rule, or my theory, you know, there's always a theory, is just that, yeah, it's anxiety increases and we immediately think, what can I do to decrease the anxiety? Not recognizing that it would go away on its own.
Okay, let me sit here and hold it for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And you like unofficially tell me what you like think of this professionally, but not professionally. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure where we're going.
I think that actually I'm like 99% convinced that I have trichotillomania.
You do. I actually used you for a case study in a paper I wrote.
What?
Yeah. Did I never tell you that? No. Yeah. And yeah, because you used to pick your eyebrows and your eyelashes to the point where there were bald spots. And I have excoriation, which is skin picking. But I've gotten better. I treated myself.
We're so unwell. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you did a really good job. And you know what? The reason we know it's trichotillomania, which if you don't know, trichotillomania is where you pick at the hairs on your body. Some people do their arms, their eyebrows, their eyelashes. Our girls
Some people do like their head.
Their head.
I've seen that.
Their hair. Yes. Priya, yours is your eyelashes and your eyebrows.
And my eyebrows, yeah.
And I remember when we were like 13, it was really bad.
Oh, so bad.
Which is typically when we see it in girls is around age 12 to 14. And yours, again, was really bad. I think it was
actually younger than that, though. Because I have pictures of me when I was like, oh my gosh, how old was I? I don't know. I must have been around like 11, maybe 12.
But I remember us being at Rejoice and seeing you as kids. Because remember, I left Rejoice to be homeschooled by like, what, grade 2? So
no, it wasn't grade 2.
It was grade 2, I think. Or grade 3,
really?
Sorry. It was very early. I was not at Rejoice for that long in the grand scheme of things. But I remember us sitting there and you would just like be picking at stuff.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm saying that I feel like for you, it got really bad at around like 12, 13 is because you knew specifically why you were doing it. Like you would be like, oh, I'm stressed and then start to do it.
No, I didn't know.
But I remember you saying that. So I think subconsciously you knew.
Maybe. You know what?
I don't think you understood what was happening.
I remember saying that. I remember saying that because I didn't have any other explanation to give.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have a reason that makes sense to me to explain why I'm doing this. So let me just say this.
Yeah.
That was it.
No, you definitely do. And the funny thing is, because I remember you started wearing mascara to help.
Yeah.
That's actually something I would tell my clients. I'm like, hey, we like, because that's what the research will say, like do something to block it or make it unsatisfying.
Yeah.
So the mascara, it has a negative outcome. You get stuff on your fingers. You don't get as good of a grip, whatever.
You know what's funny about that?
You still do that.
Yeah. You know what's really funny?
It's so much better.
I actually found that the mascara
gives a good grip.
But
it's not that fun to get it all over your fingers. Unless you just don't care. Some people, but that's the thing. It's like you have to try a bunch of different things. Like some people, we do like picking pads. Actually, I feel like you would find those satisfying. Have you ever seen a picking pad?
No.
It's like a square pad and it's like a jellyish type of material, but a pretty firm jelly. And there's like glitter in there, like little sequence things, little like beads, and you get to literally just pick through it and like collect the things. It sounds weird.
Interesting.
But it can be very satisfying, especially if you have a tendency like to pick or pull anything on your person. I'm going to send you a link. I kid you not.
No, okay. Oh my gosh. I'm about to expose myself here. Okay. So when I was a kid, I had this blanket.
Yes.
I still have to pee, by the way.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Let it be known. Okay.
You have to pee and that's okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I had this blanket.
Yeah.
And the corner of it, for some reason, I don't know how to explain it. This is totally self-diagnosed, by the way. You know when I found out that I had trichotillomania?
Yeah.
Was when I took an abnormal psychology class in my second year of university.
Yeah.
She started talking about it and I was sitting in the back of the room and I was like,
that's how I found out I had excoriation. It's
there's
crazy.
A name for this?
There's names for
and
so
other
many
people
things.
feel this too. It's not just me. What? That was a wild
That must have been such like a validating moment for you.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't cry, but I probably could have.
Yeah.
Because I literally in that moment was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's a name. Like this is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing.
And it's so common. It is so common.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had this blanket as a kid.
Yeah.
The corner of the blanket, I don't know what it was. Like something about like, I don't know how to explain it, but like the way that like the stitching in it, like, I don't know, in the corner.
Like the texture of it? Was it a sensory thing is what I'm asking? Okay.
Yeah. And so I would like pick at it and I would like in between my fingers, you know?
Yes.
To the point where like it got like worn down.
Yeah.
I did that with 2 blankets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, this is so wow. I'm like really outing myself right now. Okay, and
but
now
you're saying that as though it's like this very odd, weird thing. Like I can bet you so many people are
but
like,
to
yeah,
me,
I get
it is
that.
an odd, weird thing because I've never met anybody else who like
no
who
one
does
talks
that.
about it. That's
no one
why.
talks about it. But I've never met anybody else who does it.
Yes.
And up until like whatever it was, when was I in my second year of university? Like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8, I don't know, something like that.
The years just keep going up.
25, I don't know. I didn't even know that it was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally thought that I was just
weird,
mm-hmm. like odd
mm-hmm.
with no explanation.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't do it with blankets anymore. But now my problem is the inside, oh my gosh, the inside sleeve of my winter coats. Specifically the left-hand side. So like,
but do you do it when you're stressed or when you're not thinking about it or both?
Both.
Interesting.
Both. I actually, so like if you were to like put your hand into the left side of my winter coat right now.
It feels worn down.
Yeah. To the point where like there's like a little section of like the inside lining that's like ripped a little bit from just like over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. There's actual ways to treat that and it's really cool. It's called body focused repetitive behaviors, that whole body of like trichotillomania, excoriation, excessive skin picking, nose picking. I'm sorry, I'm nerding out right now. And then
no, I love it. Help me, please.
And then it's called habit reversal training. That's what you do to stop. So the concept is like, I just realized how off topic we went to. I'm sorry.
No,
the concept is you have a habit, in your case, picking at something or like that sensory thing, and you replace it with a behavior that's less maladaptive, even though that's not really hurting anything. It does become a point where it's hurting when it's like your hair that you're picking at. Yeah. So you replace it with another
like
behavior.
The inside of my coat is just like shredded.
Yeah. So you're replacing the maladaptive behavior with a good behavior. And so it involves a few things. One, you're trying to pay attention to when you're most likely to do it. So again, do you do it mindlessly? Do you realize that certain thoughts trigger it? Or like if you're in a certain high stress situation, you're going to do that. 2, you're focusing on the urge. Because you're going to feel the urge. Like you don't just all of a sudden start. Like sometimes you mindlessly do it, but you'll realize that there's the urge to get this feeling. And we're resisting that urge, which is exactly the same thing with peeing. And like you just have the urge to pee, but just because we have an urge doesn't mean we need to act on it. And so just because you have that urge, it's like resisting.
My bladder would say otherwise, but okay.
And it's just like, it's acknowledging that the urge is there and acknowledging the feeling that you're trying to go after, but we're holding back. And it might start off with, I'm just going to resist that feeling for 30 seconds. And then it builds up to a minute. And then it's like, okay, I could wait 5 minutes before I do this. And in the meantime, I'm going to replace it with a healthier behavior. So hence things like a picking pad, a stress ball, like like whatever that looks like for you, slime. Like people have a lot of things, fidget toys of any kind or sensory stuff. And eventually you build your tolerance to resist that urge. So it's still there, but you can ignore it. Like that's what happened to me. So excoriation is like skin picking. I would pick so badly. It was in my scalp. I had like bald spots. And again, no one knows because you can hide it. But like it was really bad. Like I would pick it until I bled. Yeah. Because it would be a stress thing. And but I also recognized there were certain spaces I did it in. So I wouldn't do it over here, but I would do it over there or when I'm sitting in the specific spot, whatever. So I had to pay attention to that.
I'm curious, what were those spaces?
It was typically in my bedroom, in my bed, because like I could prop my hand. Oh, sorry. I could like prop myself a certain way.
Yeah.
I would do it other places too, a bit more mindlessly, but that was intentional. And so, or when you're doing something like watching TV because your hands are free and you're just kind of there, So there's a boredom piece, but then also a stress-induced piece. Like it would get worse if I was in a stressful season, you know? And so I started with, I got a Pop It toy. And anytime I felt the urge to pick at my skin, I would start playing with the Pop It toy. And I would just pop, 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 like constantly until I start to feel like that urge went away. And then I also did other things like, you know, making sure that my scalp is well oiled so that like there's no dry skin to pick at, like things like that. Or like that the scab is healing better, essentially. This sounds so weird. Like it's kind of gross. EJ's face is like, "Ugh." But it happens to so many people.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the hair has grown back, sis. Like I'm good. But I still get the urge to do it all the time. I just don't.
Yeah. So like right now for me, my my winter coat is not as bad as past winter coats that I've had. Good for you. Thank you. But like you can still tell.
Yeah.
Like you can definitely still tell.
Yeah.
And I think because I'm just like older now and maybe I have a little bit more like self-control and self-awareness, I don't pick at like my eyelashes or my eyebrows or whatever in the same, like to the same extreme that I used to.
Right.
But I still do. So for me, I don't like I won't like pick at my eyebrows now to the point where I have like a total like
patches.
Bald spot or something, which is ironic. I'm a makeup artist. I could fix it and you would never know. I wonder if that's part of the reason.
What?
Why?
Let me in.
I got so interested in makeup.
I mean, isn't that why you started wearing makeup though? I literally remember the day you were like, my mom said I could wear mascara. And I was like, ugh.
No, it was actually my aunt's idea.
It was your aunt's idea? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, this is kind of funny because she's a psychiatric nurse.
She probably, sis knew what was up. She knew.
She knew.
But I literally remember you being like, yeah, and this is why. I literally vividly remember that conversation.
Yeah. But then I think that I just learned how to like fake.
Yes.
Like how to like cover it up basically.
Well, and that's what most people do.
You know?
Right?
So it wasn't it wasn't so much a thing that like helped me not do it. It just helped me cover up the fact that I was doing it.
Right.
You know?
And hence the resisting thing comes into play.
But yeah, now I don't do it to the point where I have like bald spots in my eyebrows anymore. And I don't do it to the point in my like eyelashes anymore where I have like bald spots.
Yeah.
But if I do it at some points in time, like more so than others, I can definitely tell like when my eyelashes are thinner.
Right.
Like right now, they're thinner than they normally are.
Yeah.
Specifically on this eye.
You have a problem with your left side.
Oh, why am I lopsided? I don't know.
Sensory stuff. It's weird.
I don't know. And now too, because I don't want it to be so obvious that like, where did your eyelashes go? I don't do it so much on my top eyelashes. I'll do it a little bit more on my bottom eyelashes.
Can you point the mic at your mouth and not your chin? Thanks. Continue.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, so like I don't wear like mascara on my bottom lashes as much as I used to because I have like naturally really long bottom lashes.
You do.
And I don't like do them with mascara the same way that I used to because then you would be able to tell that like there's like a little space. Like right now, I think on this eye, there's like a little space where I don't have any.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, hit your girl up. We can actually work on that.
But isn't trichotillomania like isn't that under the umbrella of OCD? How does that work? Because I know people joke about, oh my gosh, like I have OCD. Like I just like everything clean. And like to be clear, that's not OCD.
Oh my gosh, that is the
it's
least
not
of your worries when it comes to OCD.
Yeah, no.
There's like, so you know, the Diagnostic Statistic Manual. Is that statistical manual? Whatever. The DSM.
Yeah.
It has like the umbrellas for different disorders. OCD falls under.
I think I literally have my copy of it in the next room.
Slay.
Let me go get it.
I think like things like OCD, body focus, repetitive behaviors, stuff like that fall under obsessive compulsive type disorders. So even OCD falls under that umbrella, but they're different. But a lot of the times you see a comorbidity. So you see OCD and you see that.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm sorry. I feel like I've just nerded out. And I also expose myself very hard. But I think so many people go through it and they just don't realize that that's a problem.
Yeah.
Or they like, it's just like, oh, like, why do you have that weird habit? And it's like, no, it's a thing.
Yeah.
That you could literally be treated for because it's that intense.
Yeah. No, and I wonder if when I was younger, if anybody around me had been able to identify what was happening and actually like give it a name and explain it to me, how that may have been different for me. Because my memories of it as a kid were like me having these like really long dark eyelashes naturally and then just like snatching them all out. And I remember my parents being like literally distraught, like actually distraught. Like, why
are you doing
this to yourself? Like, what's happening? Why are you doing this to yourself? And then I would feel really like guilty and like, I don't know what to tell you. I honestly don't know what to tell you, but I can see that it looks strange when I look into the mirror and I see that you're so literally distraught over it. And so I feel bad about that. Yeah. But I don't know why I'm doing this. I have nothing to tell you. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with that stuff is there's so much shame and guilt that comes with it. And that's why a lot of it goes undiagnosed because kids become like kind of what you did where you're still doing it. You just got covert with it. Like, it's like, okay, life hack. If I don't do it on this spot, but I do it on this spot, it won't be as noticeable. So I can still do it, but it does become the shameful thing. And when you get called out for it, you're like mortified. Because I remember when my mom would call me out for it, I would literally be like so embarrassed.
Yeah.
But it's like I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I can't stop because I don't even know why I'm doing it in the first place.
Right. But I will say sometimes I think that's very valid. But it's really helpful to move away from the idea of like, I need to know what it is and rather just focus on what's the behavior,
just stopping in general,
and how can I adjust it. I don't need to know the context. Like I might never know, and that's okay. I just need to know what's bothering me in terms of the physical action of it, and how can I maneuver away from that.
Which, like, as an adult, yes, but like for me as a kid, when like at that age you're already trying to figure out like
everything.
Why am I the way that I am in relation to everybody else around me? Because I now, you know, as like a pubescent 13-year-old have this like insane sense of like self-awareness in the world around me that I never had before. So in that sense, in that context, not knowing why I was doing something that other people around me were not doing, that was very strange.
I wish that your parents had known what it was when you were younger, because the thing is, kids pick up on that concept of I don't need to know why, I just need to understand that I'm doing it and know how I'm going to change. Kids pick that up way faster than adults, like every time. Like adults are like, but I don't understand. And it's like, you don't need to. Like turn that part of your brain off. But again, for a kid, as long as you tell them, okay, it doesn't matter, this is just what we're dealing with, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Kids are more uncomplicated.
Absolutely. And just more flexible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool
that was,
stuff though, right?
That was so, yeah.
I mean, not cool that it happens, but like it's fascinating.
No, it's fascinating. It's so interesting. I wish I wasn't like this.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm going to go too far in.
No, what?
I was going to say there's so many different like sectors of it. Because sometimes you'll say to somebody like, oh, do you do any skin picking? Do you do any hair pulling? And they're like, no. And you're like, what about excessive nose picking? What about like your cuticles? What about biting your nails? What about this? What about that? And they're like, oh. But it all falls under that. This is very niche, but I just love it.
It is fascinating.
It is. Yeah. Anyway, to wrap that up.
Now I want to just like pick myself apart. Okay, wait, no pun intended.
Yeah. Maybe let's not. Can I ask you, what's the urge to pee right now?
I very much still have to pee.
Okay.
Can I go pee?
Can I just point out to you that like you don't usually hold it this long, and you can. Nothing
I know
happened.
I can. I just don't enjoy it.
Okay, but what's wrong with not enjoying something sometimes?
That's fair.
Right? Gotcha.
Can I please go to the bathroom?
Do whatever, bro. Do whatever. Your house, your rules.
Una moment.